February 26, 2019, Tuesday of the 7th week in Ordinary Time.
A reading from the book of Sirach. My son, when you come to serve the Lord, stand in justice and fear. Prepare yourself for trials. Be sincere of heart and steadfast. Incline your ear and receive the word of understanding, undisturbed in time of adversity. Wait on God with patience. Cling to him, forsake him not. Thus will you be wise in all your ways. Accept whatever befalls you. When sorrowful, be steadfast, and in crushing misfortune, be patient. For in fire gold and silver are tested, and worthy people in the crucible of humiliation. Trust God, and God will help you. Trust in him, and he will direct your way. Keep his fear and grow old therein. You who fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. Turn not away, lest you fall. You who fear the Lord, trust him, and your reward will not be lost. You who fear the Lord, hope for good things, for lasting joy and mercy. You who fear the Lord, love him, and your hearts will be enlightened. Study the generations long past, and understand. Has anyone hoped in the Lord and been disappointed? Has anyone persevered in his commandments and been forsaken? Has anyone called upon him and been rebuffed? Compassionate and merciful is the Lord. He forgives sins, he saves in time of trouble, and he is a protector to all who seek him in truth. The word of the Lord.
The response is, commit your life to the Lord, and he will help you. Trust in the Lord and do good, that you may dwell in the land and be fed in security. Take delight in the Lord, and he will grant you your heart's requests. Commit your life to the Lord, and he will help you. The Lord watches over the lives of the wholehearted. Their inheritance lasts forever. They are not put to shame in an evil time. In days of famine they have plenty. Commit your life to the Lord, and he will help you. Turn from evil and do good, that you may abide forever. For the Lord loves what is right, and forsakes not his faithful ones. Commit your life to the Lord, and he will help you. The salvation of the just is from the Lord. He is their refuge in time of distress. And the Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them, because they take refuge in him. Commit your life to the Lord, and he will help you.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus and his disciples left from there and began a journey through Galilee, but he did not wish anyone to know about it. He was teaching his disciples and telling them, "The Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him. And 3 days after his death, the Son of Man will rise." But they did not understand the saying, and they were afraid to question him. They came to Capernaum, and once inside the house, he began to ask them, "What were you arguing about on the way?" But they remained silent, for they had been discussing among themselves on the way who was the greatest. And then he sat down, called the 12, and said to them, "If anyone wishes to be first, he shall be the last of all and the servant of all." Taking a child, he placed it in their midst, and putting his arms around it, he said to them, "Whoever receives one child such as this in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me but the one who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord.
Tuesday of the 7th week in Ordinary Time. The first reading comes from Sirach 2, 1-11. Yesterday we saw how this book of Sirach is a presentation of Jewish wisdom, while in the passage that we hear today, we see an example of that wisdom, that we should wait upon the ways of the Lord. We should trust in times of adversity, because adversity, even though it seems to be a negative thing, can actually purify our intentions, make sure that that which we do is truly in the Lord. We should be patient and trust in the Lord, that those who trusted in the past have had their hopes fulfilled. We should continue to hope in the Lord. The Gospel is from Mark 9:30 to 37. This is the second of 3 predictions of the Passion. We hear that the Son of Man would be handed over to men. They will kill him, but after 3 days, the Son of Man would rise again. Now, Son of Man is the title that Jesus uses for himself. It comes from Daniel 7, where the Son of Man would receive power and authority. And in the days that the book of Daniel was written, the term Son of Man probably referred to the Jewish people of Israel, that they would be victorious over their enemies. But by the time of Jesus, the term Son of Man is used for an individual, a Messiah-like figure. Jesus uses it, but he also adds vocabulary taken from the Songs of the Suffering Servant, from 2nd Isaiah, to show that his role as Messiah is not to be a conqueror, but rather one who dies for the sins of the people. After Jesus predicts his passion, he asks the disciples what they were talking about on the way. And their response, they're almost like deer caught in headlights, because they were talking about who was most important among them. Jesus is talking about dying, about surrender. They're talking about receiving power. They just don't get it. In fact, 3 times Jesus predicts his passion. 3 times the response of the disciples is inappropriate. And then Jesus calls a child in their midst and says, "Whoever serves this child will have served me." Notice this is not the passage that says, "Become like a little child." That's another passage. This is the passage that says, "Serve the children," because children can't pay you back. It's very similar to what we heard in these days, that we should be inviting people to our meals who can't pay us back, that we should be serving those who are incapable of responding with an appropriate response. And may God bless us.